everybody.
Good morning, good afternoon, good morning, hon.
Good morning, sweetheart. How are you this morning?
Doing all right. We're halfway through the week already.
Oh, thank heavens.
Mhm.
Well, tomorrow is the first day of April. So
Yes.
much for the month of March. It's shot to hell.
Yeah, March just flew by. It's like, okay, that was the thing that happened.
Yeah, it happened, and now it's over, and now it's spring, and now we're all sneezing. I know poor Mark is
Yes.
suffering.
And we've actually got sunlight. You can't tell because I've got the curtains closed at the moment, but it's bright and it's sunny, and I don't know what to do with it.
You're looking outside like, what is that? It's so
It's like
bright.
in the garden throwing sticks at it, trying to figure out what it is. Yeah. Haven't seen the sun for 6 months.
Oh my God. It's like, what is this sun you speak of? I do not understand. Oh my God. I know. Today we're not seeing the sun here in Plano, so.
It's lucky I'm not a vampire because if I'd opened the curtains this morning, it would have been like that gif, nobody opens the curtains and just drops to the floor.
Yeah.
That's how bright it was. Exactly. But before we say good morning to everyone, there is something I want to
Yes,
say
we
thank you
should.
for, because I need to stand up for this one. I want to say a massive thank you to Mary's Game Room. The t-shirt arrived. How
All
awesome is that?
right.
Thank you.
Awesome. I think I saw Mary in the chat. So when we scroll down here, I'm sure we'll say good morning to her. But guys, remember, in the description below, there is the charity for Mary's Game Room. Oh my God, the name of it just skated out of my head. Extra Life Marathon.
That's all.
And the money is being raised for Cox Health Cancer Center. So
It is. It's a fantastic cause, and it's running currently. So looking forward to be able to get involved with that.
yeah, and $5,000 gets Mark's head shaved. So
Oh, no.
I'm hoping we can reach that goal. Yeah, poor Mark.
Should we say good morning?
Yes, we should say good morning. So who was first this morning?
First was Project Storytime. You got the gold.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think Chris Persia was second and Colin was third.
Colin was third. Okay. I was like, what? I always miss who's first. And it's like, because they post as soon as you put up the chat. And it's like, guys.
And it disappears after a few hours anyway. So I was like, oh.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's like, shit, I always end up missing who's first. So good afternoon, rather, I should say, to Colin P. Smith, Nicole the Blind Mage, good morning, sweetheart. Chris Persia, good morning. Mark the Infinitely Tired, our amazing wrench, is here. Good morning. I know he's sniffling and sneezing. The allergies are getting their best of him today. And I love your new avatar, Mark.
That's so funny. A kind of glimpse into the future, I feel, for that one.
I think it might be. Let's see. Naughty Monkey Arath is here cooking with Ruthie. Hey, girl. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good to see you. Oh, my God. It's so great to see you in our chat, hon. Let's see. Let me scroll down and find a couple of more. James Andrew Morrison is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
The
good
Geek
afternoon.
Inside. Yeah, is it good afternoon for James Andrew Morrison? He's in the UK, yes. I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon.
Need a bigger mug there, Sam.
I know, this one's as big as my head. My kiddo got me this for my birthday, so I think it's a 16-ounce coffee mug.
We need a 42-ounce one.
Oh my God, I do today. Oh my gosh, because my allergies are killing me too. So let's see. The Geek Inside, I know that's Mr. Hyde. He says happy hump day. It's his Friday today. Lucky him. There's Mary's Game Room. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning,
good to see
sweetheart.
you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Who else is hanging out with us, babe?
Let's have a look. Let me scroll down. We have got Pat S. Good morning to you. Good to see you. We have got a Polynese Minion. Hey, sweetheart. Good morning. we've got Battle Hymn 63, and we have Film Lars, who was kind enough to give us a 100 Dutch kroner super chat. Had to make
Oh
sure
my
that was
goodness.
in the right one.
Thank you, Film Lars. And he says he loves the blood from the mummy's tomb. Have a great show. Cheers from Copenhagen. Thank you. Or is it
Thank you.
Copenhagen? I want to get it right.
I would say Copenhagen, but I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly, so don't listen to me.
Yeah, Project Storytime is still on it with 42.
Thank you, Film Lars. Thank you, sweetheart. We do appreciate you.
We really do. Oh my God. And I just saw that Roger Haynes gave us a $1.99 Canadian super sticker with thumbs up. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sweetheart. Always good to see you in the chat.
Oh, and he says done. Donated $20 to the charity. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you. Thank you, Roger.
That really means a lot. Mary is gonna love it. Thank you.
They're all talking about vampires and sunlight. We've got Racing Palpatine, we've got Generalissimo Hefe. Good to see you, gentlemen. Project Storytime, good to see you. Who else have we got? It just skipped on me. We have got Pudgy.
Hi, Pudgy.
Purple has override button for filter. Okay. Sammy's all ready today, just in case, but we're going to try not to cuss too much.
I got my quarters. I'm ready to go, just in case.
Just in case.
I'll try to do my best to not curse, but the money does go to a good cause. So if I stub my toe and drop an F-bomb.
I think that's a legit reason. That's okay. We'll let that one slide. Good morning, Psychodwarf. Good to see you, sweetheart. And
Good morning,
just seen
honey.
a really cool comment from Pat S that I need to grab. There we go. He says, breaking news, live action Calvin and Hobbes movie is to be directed by Zack Snyder with Frank Miller to write the script. Oh my God.
You gotta be kidding.
Seriously?
You gotta be full of shit. You gotta be messing with. Oh, I said shit. Hold on. Sorry about that.
That didn't last long, did it?
No. Dang it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Who else have we got with us? We have got Lord of Chronos. And I think we've got everybody. Hey guys.
I think so. Yeah, Battle Hymn 63 was hanging out a little while ago. I thought I saw him float by. Yeah, I think we got everybody.
Awesome.
And Pudgy's wanting to Pudgy push button with Cobalt's permission.
Okay, that's okay. As long as you got permission, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense.
Asked in the chat today about this topic. Is it going to be like a primer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Cam. And for me, I think it will be a primer because I'm not as familiar with the Hammer horror films as I am with the Universal monster films.
Cool.
So I'm excited about it. When we talked about it yesterday and when we were talking about it earlier, I ended up downloading a couple of the Hammer horror films and watching them last night. And I was like, oh my God, these are so cheesy. I love it.
They are cheesy, but in a good kind of way.
Yeah, they were fun. So I was like, okay, not too shabby. Because the one I do remember seeing, oh, Pudgy, thank you. Aw, mwah.
Thank you, Pudgy.
Sweet little hedgehog.
And good morning to Chef. Good morning, love. I missed you.
Oh, somebody's at my door and my phone is going to make noise now.
Fiona says Pudgy's a berserker. I would love to see Pudgy as a berserker.
I would too. Why did my camera just go completely berserk? Speaking of berserk.
Just went completely opaque then. It's like, wow.
I know. I was like, wow, I've gone clear. Awesome. Thanks, Jim the Viking.
Good afternoon, sweetheart, to you too.
Good to see you.
So I think that's kind of a good way to kind of jump into it because I think a lot of people are more, they're either more familiar with the Hammer or they're more familiar with the Universal. So I think we're going to get a good mix. But for
Okay.
everyone who isn't familiar, I think Nicole
Right.
was asking as well a few days ago for recommendations as to where to start with them.
Ah,
I
okay.
think that's how we'll go about it today, guys. And if you guys in the chat have any recommendations or if you've got any favourite films, throw them out. We've got a couple of kind of top 10 lists, and we've each kind of got a couple of our favourites that we'd recommend. But as Sammy said, they can be a little bit cheesy, some of them.
Oh, I watched Dracula, which I had seen before, but when I was really, really young, watching the Sunday afternoon creature double feature, or, the Friday night late movies and stuff like that. But I remember that as a kid, it was even cheesy. But this was a film that was made in 1958, if I remember correctly.
It was, yep.
So I'm seeing it in 1978. And it was cheesy for then. So it's like.
But did you enjoy it? That's the main thing.
I did. I had a lot of fun watching it last night. I watched Dracula and the Brides of Dracula last night.
Brides of Dracula, that's a good one.
Yeah. I was ready to stay awake. Just like.
Get the matchsticks.
What's going to happen? But and Kronos mentions that I like Bram Stoker's Dracula, haven't seen the older ones. Same, because that one is the one that really sticks in my brain. So I'm watching
the one with Gary
Dracula last night. Yes. I'm watching Dracula last night and thinking back to the 90s version of Bram Stoker's Dracula and being like, this is totally freaking different. Excuse me, I have a question.
I just love the way that Bruce Lee portrays him, though. I know everyone kind of thinks of Bela Lugosi as quintessential Dracula, but for me,
yes,
Christopher Lee just edges him out, just because he was so creepy.
He was incredibly creepy. He was a big guy to begin with, wasn't he? He was well over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, I think so. In his prime, I think he was about 6'3", Christopher Lee. So, and he was very lean as well.
Yes, lean and mean. I noticed that last night watching the film, and I'm like, God damn, he's a big dude. I don't remember him being this big of a dude. And same with Peter Cushing. I mean, that was the look. They were thin, and Peter Cushing looked phenomenal. Of course, he's Van Helsing and everything.
Oh, he was even taller. Sorry, Project Storytime says Lee was 6'5". He's even taller than I thought.
Wow! Holy heck!
That explains it, and you can see, from his portrayal, he just looms over people, and it gives him that extra air of being sinister.
Yeah. And it's in the eyes, too. He's got creepy eyes. Nancy Reed. Hey, V-Star. What is up, girl? Been a while.
Good to see you.
Oh, my goodness.
But what did you think about Hammer horror? Isn't just horror. It's kind of Gothic as well. And one of the things that they were known for at the time was the kind of pushing the boundaries as to what could be shown on screen. So hence you get the kind of very low cut negligees, you get the kind of busty ladies, you get a little bit more blood than you would have seen in the Universal
More blood
films.
and more boobs. Definitely more blood and more boobs.
Don't take that as a complaint, anybody. It's not.
Hell no. I'm not complaining at all. I mean, overwhelming differences. That's the biggest one to me so far between Universal and that. Of course, Universal, the Americans are a little more straight-laced, anyway. So, Americans are weird.
We were talking in the green room about whether or not Hammer horror really had an impact over in America, and just looking at the American distribution partners, they had over half a dozen. So there was Warner
Yeah.
Brothers, Universal Pictures, Columbia, Paramount, Fox, MGM, and
Oh my
at least
gosh.
or more.
Watching last night, Countess Dracula was another one I started watching, but eventually my
Mhm.
eyes got too heavy and I did go to sleep. That and a sleeping pill, and I was dead to the world. But Countess Dracula was distributed by MGM. And the two previous ones I had watched were distributed by Universal Pictures.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, okay. So they did have more than one picture franchise pushing the films. So that
Mhm.
was pretty great.
Yes. And I didn't realize even that Hammer Horror is still actually making films. So the remake of Let the Right One In, I think, was in
Yes.
2010.
Yes.
Let me see what the other one was. I think, oh yeah, The Woman in Black is one of theirs. So the one that had
Right.
Radcliffe playing the lead.
Mm-hmm.
The Resident and The Quiet Ones are also classed as Hammer
Yeah.
Horror films.
Yeah. I didn't realize they were still making films either until you said something to me in the green room. I was just like, what? I mean, I've got my IMDb up,
Mm-hmm.
of the 30 best Hammer horror films of all time, and I'm going, I haven't seen maybe 3/4 of these, so I've got a lot of work to do.
Paris comes up with a really good t-shirt idea. Come for the boob, come for the blood, stay for the boobies.
It's like a Dwarf Nine says, want boobs, any Fellini film. That is true.
That is true. Absolutely. Hey, DJ B2, good to see you. Welcome.
Good to see you in the chat.
They say the director of the Hammer horror film, his daughter was a friend of mine.
Oh, no
That's
kidding.
pretty awesome.
That is really cool. What does
And
Colin P. Smith
Colin
say?
says, yeah, but to be fair, Bela Lugosi could probably not have been the voice of death. That is true. Yeah, poor Bela Lugosi could
Yes.
never shake his accent as
Yes.
much as he tried. I think that was
That's
one of the
true.
things that kind of held him back from being a really big star. He had a very strong accent.
Strong accent. He was Eastern European,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's Countess Dracula. That's the one I fell asleep.
That's all right. I can just pick it up and carry on. But I'm glad you kind of enjoyed them. So I was a little bit worried. I'm thinking, well, I know horror's not really your kind of go-to genre,
Right.
um, but and as many as Hammer horror films as there are, a lot of them are pretty terrible. They're not worth watching. I know that sounds awful, but I think people forget that Hammer horror have been around since the 1930s, but it wasn't really the 1950s to 70s that was
Right.
their heyday for the films.
Right. I was looking up to see if I could find anything that was older, and it was really cornball stuff. There
Yes.
wasn't very many. And yeah, it didn't catch on until the 50s when horror was kind of making a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
The 50s bubblegum type movies, but like The Blob, things like that.
Oh, I love The Blob. Both
Me
versions,
too. It's
actually.
one of my favorites. What is it? Colin P. Smith. What is it? As I said earlier, flighty nighties, boobs, Cushing Lee, boobs, hammer babes in diaphanous dresses.
Ticks all the boxes.
Holy shit. Oh. Quarter in the tip jar.
Because it's kind of a running joke, at least over here. That's what the films were known for. Even Terry Pratchett kind of worked that joke into his Discworld. So all of the vampires, they have Eastern European accents. All of the ladies wear kind of underwire night dresses.
Yeah. Jim the Viking. Let's see. Horror has always been hit or miss for me. Usually I can already tell who dies, where the jump scare is, and the amount of gore never bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
The gore doesn't bother me either. I'm not a big fan of the jump scare.
Yeah.
Especially in today's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
horror films.
Not a jump scare fan. I'm not a fan of, like the shaky cam, that the
Ugh,
Blair Witch Project started,
Blair
and
Witch. Yeah,
it
shaky
never
cam
sort of went
sucks.
away because it just gives me motion sickness.
It's like
I'm good. That's fine.
I'm just gonna go throw up over the side of the boat. I'll be okay. What does Geek Inside say?
He says I'm a huge Hammer horror fan and own all the movies and also have a rare album of the soundtracks. My favourite movie is Vampire Lovers. Nice.
Vampire lovers. Okay, getting my pen and
Oh,
writing that down.
Geek Inside, I didn't know you were such a big fan. I would have sent you a link to join. I mean,
Yeah,
you're still welcome to join if you would like.
yeah. You're still welcome. Always. What did he say it was? Vampire lovers.
Vampire Lovers, yep.
Okay.
But I'd actually really like to get my hands on that album. That sounds pretty cool.
That sounds really, really cool. Yeah, because that soundtrack is just incredible. I mean, it's so booming, and listening to it last night, I'm like, I was surprised at not only the depth of the soundtrack, but the amount of silence in the films. That it's not constant music playing, to build the suspense. They just went ahead and went with it.
Yes. I think probably one of the best films that showcased that, other than the ones that you watched, was The Mummy, which also stars Christopher Lee. So
Right.
as the film goes on, you hear the sound effects more than the actual soundtrack. So you can hear Christopher Lee's character creeping up on people. You hear him coming throughout the film, and then the
Oh my
music
gosh.
kicks in.
That is so cool. Oh, Ingrid Pitt. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Generalissimo Hefe said Ingrid Pitt as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be inclined to agree with you, gentlemen.
Yep. I do have to agree with you, gentlemen, on that one. So now we're going to have to download Vampire Lovers. Oh, he's at work.
Oh, that's okay, honey. Thank
Okay.
you. It would be awesome.
Thank
I'd
you
love
for
to
that.
see it.
Yeah, if you send us a pic, we'll put it on our Instagram. Pudgy is raising his paw. What is Hammer Horror? Is it a movie directed by MC Hammer? No, honey.
Although I'd probably watch that as well, just for the laughs.
I'm in it for the memes at that point.
Yeah, we're just going to go with it.
No, Pudgy, Hammer Horror is a studio in England that made all kinds of cheesy horror films.
And the more films you watch, the more you'll recognise the sets that are used.
And, it's weird. I noticed it immediately going from Dracula to The Brides of Dracula. I'm like, oh, okay, I know that's it.
Just move the furniture around a little bit.
Yeah, they moved the furniture and hung a drape over a window. It's like, oh, okay. Or shot from a different angle. It's just like, oh, all right, well, you got to do what you got to do. At least you have the sets. Then James Andrew Morrison, Ingrid Pitt, and Madeline Collinson. Oh my, yeah,
yes.
They're both hot.
I would ironically watch Hammer Horror direct by MC Hammer. Me too. Me too.
I think I would too.
Should we kind of go through some of what's considered the best films for people that aren't as familiar? Do you think that would
Yeah.
work?
You found a really good, top 15 or top 10 list?
Top 10 that I found. Some of them, you'd think they would kind of all agree, but I came across several lists and they're all different. I was like,
oh my God.
All right. Well, there is a lot to pick from, I guess. And some of these I haven't even seen. So this particular list lists Twins of Evil, for example, at number 10. Now, that's one I know of, but I've never seen.
But you've never seen, okay.
But I've never seen. Number 9, they list as the Abominable Snowman.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that was a Hammer Horror film. We had an Abominable Snowman over here too.
Yeah, so this one is one of the early ones. It's still in black and white. It's Peter Cushing in the starring role, and I think because of the time, because of the budgetary constraints, you very
Uh-huh.
rarely see the monster. I think that's why it works so well.
Ah, that's pretty sneaky. Hey, Cavatano Cavalry Trooper Che, good morning. Good to see you in the chat.
Hey, good morning. Good to see you. Welcome. For number 8, they've listed Plague of the Zombies.
Okay.
Not one of my favourites, but to be fair, I don't think Hammer Horror did as many kind of zombie-based films as they
Okay.
did vampires and the Frankenstein's monster inspired
Right.
ones. Um,
Right.
so I can kind of see why they've picked it. But if you're going to go zombies, I was always go for George Romero.
Like, no, I'm not going for that one.
For number 7, they've got Revenge of Frankenstein.
Oh. That
Um,
one is Christopher Lee. Doesn't he play the Frankenstein's monster in that one?
that one is another one. This one is Terence Fisher, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had it on my top 10. Wasn't
Mm.
particularly impressed. I think it's one of the films that I've seen maybe once, and it didn't really leave a lasting impression. Um, then we've got things like Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, same as the one before,
Okay.
and directed by Terence Fisher. Meh, I think he really had a thing for the Frankenstein stories. Um,
Yeah.
Number 5, they've gone for Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Okay.
Oops, let me see what Jim's saying. He says, for those not in the UK, you'd be amazed at the amount of British ladies, in brackets and Valkyries, struggling with the pronunciation of abominable. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, trying to get the episode of The Abominable Bride, I'm like, abominable?
So how do I stop saying this word?
I need to put that as one of those words I'm just never going to be able to pronounce correctly unless I actually see the word in front of me.
I'd have to write it phonetically and kind of put it on a post-it note on the laptop. For number 4, they've got The Mummy. Now, this one I did like. So this one, as we said earlier, it's Christopher Lee in the starring role, and I just really like the makeup of him. He looks. I don't quite know how they did it, but they obviously wrapped him, and I think it was wet when they put it on, almost like
Yeah.
plaster of Paris, and then it kind of dried and cracked on him. So it looked really effective. But the mummy character is a tank in this. He's almost unstoppable, and he really kind of builds up the suspense when he shows up.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to stop this thing?
So he's like Juggernaut.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh look, now they're making fun of me.
Oh shit, Mr. Abominable Bobby. And linoleum?
Just says, what about voluminous? That one I'm okay with.
God, Mark, you gotta let this go, man.
It's not going to happen. Racing Palpatine, the abominable. Fuck me. Sam, put a coin in
Got
a jar
it.
for me. Thank you. I should have just skipped over that film entirely. It wasn't even worth mentioning, just for the sake of trying to pronounce that word.
He's got a 6-pack. Oh god.
Oh Oh my god, you guys, you're crazy. Number 3 was Curse of the Werewolf. I kind of bit never was that fond of Hammer horror werewolf films. I always like the
Oh, really?
Universal ones better, I've got to admit.
Oh, okay. So the ones we talked about a couple of weeks ago from was Lon Chaney Jr.
Yes,
played the werewolf.
that's the one. But this one, I think it's one of the kind of more brutal films. It's a lot darker. It's kind of disturbing in parts as well, especially some of the things that it deals with. So it's definitely on the more adult side for Hammer horror. Even though it's not as kind of gory, it's a lot more bleak, I think would be the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Number 2 was House of Dracula.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet.
It's okay. I probably wouldn't have put it at number 2. I would probably, for me, I would have put it down at number 5, maybe.
Okay.
But anytime that Christopher Lee plays Dracula, I'm all for it. And for this list, The Curse of Frankenstein was classed as their number 1.
Oh my gosh.
So again, another killer combination of Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee playing off each other as they did so well. I think it's those two actors and their chemistry that kind of push this film forward and kind of elevate it.
Huh. Hey, speaker. What's up?
Hey, speaker. Good to see you.
How are ya? Yeah, the list I came across. Hey, Jester of Sin. Good morning. Happy hump day to you too. My camera. Sorry, guys. I might need to do some work on my computer after we get off the show today.
Yes, it never used to kind of autofocus, did it?
No, I may have to do some work in here and rearrange some stuff. I need a different view. You guys are probably getting sick of staring at my Star Trek uniform. But my list comes from IMDb, and it's the top 30. I don't think I'm going to cover the top 30, but I'll do the top 10. They list Quatermass 2 as 10. Good morning, Crimson Mist. Just doing some nonsense. I'm doing some stuff and nonsense, so that's cool. So Quatermass 2. Number 9, they put Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh.
Which
yes,
I've seen, but when I was wee.
Yes. I think it was Colin that also mentioned as much as he liked the horror ones, he also likes the more kind of Gothic and historic ones. So
right.
That I can absolutely see.
Now, of course, Colin's into the historical ones. He's our history buff. So, Scars of Dracula had Patrick. How do you say that?
Throckton as Igor.
As Igor. Yes. Okay. Pudgy's pondering. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
How many more quarters am I going to have to put into the tip jar?
Yes, is the answer, I think.
Quatermass, in many ways, is the precursor to Doctor Who. Well, Quatermass in the Pit is number 7 on my list.
Nice.
So these are some movies I'm going to definitely have to check out. Igor is played by the second Doctor. Oh, okay. Again, I'm not a Doctor Whovian. Don't kill me. Let's see. The 6th one is Let Me In.
Is that the one from 2010, is it?
Yes, the 2010 one. Romantic horror film. It's a remake of the 2008 Swedish film.
Yes, that's the one.
Which was the one you mentioned in the green room.
Both good films, actually. Both worth watching.
I will check them out. The Curse of Frankenstein is number 5. Never Take Candy from a Stranger is number 4, which I think I've seen as well. It's It's kind of creepy. Of course, watching it as a kid and you hear "never take candy from a stranger," you're like,
And now we know why.
okay, now I know why. Okay. Number 3, which is one that surprised me. It's a Hammer horror film called The Nanny, which starred
Oh,
Betty Davis
okay.
as the
Not
nanny. And
not one I would have
yeah,
expected.
no. And I'm like, okay, it's a Betty Davis film. I must actually see this because I'm a big fan of hers. Number 2 was The Scream of Fear.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, they list The Horror of Dracula.
Oh, okay. So a little bit different.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And watching The Horror of Dracula last night, I've realized somebody was in the film that I know as a very much older man.
Mm-hmm. Who's that?
And I was like, I know that voice. And I saw the actor's face and I said, holy shit, that's Alfred from the 1989 Batman. And quarter. He looks the same. Except for the hair being gray.
Yeah, I could have said the same about Peter Cushing though. When you see him later on in life. It's like,
good point.
I mean,
but I was familiar with Peter Cushing before he did Star Wars, watching all these B movies and stuff on, the Sunday afternoon double feature, so I'm like, hey, I know that guy from all the horror movies I used to watch as a kid. Well, I was a kid when Star Wars came out, so.
I recognize those cheekbones, yeah.
I know that cheekbone anywhere. NB Geek, thank you.
Thank you, honey. It says Valhalla is strong with these women of fire. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. Mwah. You're so sweet. But let's see. Oh, Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte. Yeah, that's a creepy movie.
Yes, she played creepy really well. Is that the same lady who was in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
Yep.
I thought
She's
so.
Baby Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good film.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We won't swear anymore, Pudgy, we promise.
Reset the swear filter. Okay, but I do have quarters ready just in case. Like I said, it all goes to a good cause, but I'll watch my mouth.
We'll be better, we promise.
We'll do better. Just for you, Pudgy. Mwah.
I'm trying to think of some that you haven't seen that I'd probably recommend. I mean, the ones that you've seen so far, I think you've picked some really good ones, especially Bride of Dracula.
I had fun with that film last night.
That's just a fun film, it is. It really is.
I was like, it did drag a little bit in the middle. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, get to the point already. But I get it. We're trying to draw suspense. So I'm like, okay, I'll forgive this one.
I would recommend The Devil Rides Out, also known as The Devil's Bride. And weirdly enough, this is one of the few films where Christopher Lee actually doesn't play the villain; he plays the good guy, which is really weird to see.
I'm gonna have to see that.
It just kind of throws you. It's like, shouldn't you be okay? He's not. He's playing this. But it's about worshipping cults and that kind of thing, looking for new victims, and Christopher Lee's character is investigating and trying to stop it from happening, and it's a surprisingly good film. I really enjoyed it.
Oh my god, I'll have to check it out. There's, like I said, there's such a litany of films. I can tell the ones that are kind of like,
yes. I think the further down the list, especially the list that you've got, they've got, I would just no. We'll just skip
I could scroll down and start at 30.
Just since it's like Star Wars, it died. My love killed and never returned. I'm lucky with Trek. I walked before it was destroyed to Kronos. Yeah.
Ah, maybe that's smart. So far, they haven't ruined Hammer horror films. So,
No, I think it's because, as we said, I mean, even we didn't realize that Hammer Horror was still making films. Because I always think of them from like the 1970s,
yeah.
1950s. You think of them as these kind of classic actors. Um, and for anyone who hasn't seen them, there are a few channels on YouTube that do show them in their entirety that you can find.
Yes. Yes. We did find, I was telling you earlier that we did find an article that said
Hmm.
YouTube was going to start showing some of the Hammer horror films. So
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, let's see if we can find any for free. But they were all kind of weird.
It's
One
not
of
any
them,
of the
though,
best one.
one of them was 1 million BC, which
Oh
I
yeah.
think Colin, excuse me, Colin mentioned earlier in the chat. And did I forget to drop a quarter, Mark? I've got an extra. There, I think I'm caught up. They're trying to figure out. I've got one snort and like 7 cusses.
That's a bad ratio for the day.
I know. And I'm not even angry.
No, we're just excited.
Yeah. I'm just happy. Oh, holy shite. Oh, an honorable mention.
Okay.
Hammer House of Horror 1980 episode The Silent Scream.
Oh. So I would have thought that would
That's,
have been on the list rather than an honourable mention.
yeah, it's an honorable mention.
Hmm.
Then they list, oh, next time you guys need to do Harryhausen movies.
That's a good
I
idea.
know of one that I've seen a bazillion times since I was a kid. So, yeah. I'm into it. I'll watch them. I'm cool. I love old movies. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Hmm. Well, it's like we've been saying, I think one of the reasons we are kind of covering these older films, we've gone back to the Universal, we've gone back to the Hammer today. It's
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much stuff that you can go back to. You don't have to watch the crap that's available now.
That's true. Because there's a lot of crap out there.
And James Andrew Morrison says Harryhausen or Roger Corman. Either.
Which,
If that's what you
either,
guys want to see, we can cover both
yeah.
if you like. I'll make a note.
And
We're
Mark
always
says, let me guess, Clash of the Titans. LOL.
so I was thinking it was going to be Sinbad.
I've also seen Sinbad, so 2. Okay. Because I was thinking Sinbad. I forgot about Clash of the Titans.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, if you guys would like us to cover those, we can cover those. We're always looking for new topics. So if there's ever
Yeah.
anything that you guys want us to cover, just let one of us know, and we will.
Yeah,
We
leave a
just want to give
comment.
you the best show that we can.
Yeah. We're trying to kick ass and take some names, or take names and kick ass, or
It's all good.
take ass and kick names. I don't know.
Geek Inside says The
Oh,
Woman in Black was a Hammer horror film from 2012 with Daniel Radcliffe.
right.
Yes. Now that I didn't realise. It wasn't a terrible film, but now looking back and watching it, I can definitely see, the similarities with the older Hammer horror films.
Okay.
I just thought of it as a Gothic horror film. I didn't realise it was actually attached
Right.
to Hammer horror.
I didn't
But
know it was attached until you said so this morning
I quite
before the
enjoyed it,
show.
I've got to admit. But poor Daniel Radcliffe still looks like Harry Potter.
I know. He's never not going to not be Harry Potter.
Well, bless him, and he keeps trying to pull away and do all these different roles. And I think the weirdest one he did was that one when he's basically a dead character. Is it Swiss Army
Oh,
Man?
yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
it was
just so
similar to
weird.
Dead Like Me. It was
Uh-huh.
really weird.
It's just really strange. Just like, what the hell am I watching? But I watched it all because I wanted to figure out what the hell is going on.
Oh my god.
Keely's throwing out some really good recommendations. He's
Yes,
got
he is.
Dracula AD, Taste of Taste the Blood of Dracula. I think we covered that in one of the lists, but you're absolutely right. Scars of Dracula. Dracula has risen from the grave. These are some awesome ones. Satanic Rites of Dracula.
Oh my God.
Pod Racing Palpatine, Swiss Army Man was great. It was different. I would class it as
It was different.
However, I'd call it great. Yeah, exactly.
Farty dead man.
But bless him. I really like Daniel Radcliffe. I do.
I do too. I mean, I do like a lot. I couldn't understand that show you're talking about either. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I was just like, what the hell am I watching? This is weird. It reminded me of Dead Like Me, which was I think was on Showtime 1,000 years ago. Mandy Patinkin was one of the stars of that one. But yeah, it's kind of, what am I watching? They were like angels collecting souls or something. I was never quite sure. What does Keely Chow say? And good morning, Keely. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Keely says Purple Valkyrie would look good in one of those dresses Dracula's vampire brides usually wear. That would be a pretty cool cosplay, actually.
Ding! That would be a badass cosplay. We ought to do that for one of our shows coming up.
Never say no to an underwired negligee.
Nope.
Paris had a good suggestion. It says we should do best Easter candy and we can eat it with our movie. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
As a side note, did you guys see that video that was doing the rounds either last couple of days about how much sugar is in a Cadbury's cream egg?
Oh God. I have not seen it. Oh God, I don't want to know. Those things are nasty.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either, but I just, all the comments were, what did you think was in a Cadbury's cream egg? Let people enjoy things, for goodness sake.
Are we going to cancel Cadbury cream eggs now? But yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
They're just kind of spooning out there's just this pile of sugar. It's like, yeah, but most people only eat one.
One?
You don't eat them by the dozen.
Ugh. No, good Lord. Mark says enough to give an elephant diabetes. Yeah.
Pretty much. But let people enjoy things, for goodness sakes. They're supposed to be treats.
I know. Yeah, we could eat them with our Hammer horror films. Get a good jump scare and choke.
To make it even worse over here, they deep fry them.
What? I thought we deep fried everything in Texas.
Yeah, as well as. I still never got over that deep fried butter.
It's still bugging you?
Yeah, it's still bugging. I just couldn't wrap my brain around it. It's like, it's butter that you put in a fryer.
Yeah.
But it's butter.
Yeah. It's a thing.
It's a thing. Mark says Cadbury's caramel eggs, though. Yes. Yeah.
Nope.
Really?
No. I'm not a big caramel fan. Sticks to my teeth.
But this is like, it's not the kind of chewy caramel, it's the kind of runny caramel.
Okay, yeah. That I like.
So if you break the egg, it kind of like runs out.
Okay.
It's not the
that I like.
Like hard toffee.
It's just gooey. Yeah, it's just not gooey. The toffee. Okay. I'll take that. Generalissimo Jefe says the Halloween Canberry? Really, Sam? Oh my God. The Halloween Cadbury eggs would be perfect for a horror movie night. They would. What the hell did they call them, Jeff? I can't remember.
Is that the one that
Cadbury? Cadbury Scream Eggs.
Scream eggs.
That's what they call them.
Or they put green dye in them, don't they? And the center comes like green or something. I thought so.
It's like green eggs and ham.
Mark D with a C, please tell me that's not a thing.
Deep fried ice cream. It's a thing. They do it at the Texas State Fair.
Oh, guys. Honestly, if it exists, you'll deep fry it. It's amazing.
Pretty much. Oh, good point, Generalissimo Hefe. He says, and yes, purple deep fried butter is amazing. Remember to cover the fried butter in cinnamon and sugar, though.
Oh. I have a massive aversion to cinnamon. It's crazy. It's not like I'm allergic to it or anything. I just hate the taste of it. It's just like...
You're not a cinnamon fan. See, I'm not either. I'm not a big fan of cinnamon. But Texas fries everything. That's true. But they do in Scotland as well.
Yes, that's where most of that came from. So originally it was the Mars bars, and then pretty much everything ended up being deep fried as well. You can get deep fried kebabs.
You could get a deep fried kebab?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun in a movie theater. Jim the Viking. That sounds like diabetes diagnosis with a side dish of heart attack.
Oh my god, you guys. We've kind of squirreled off into food, so we probably for the last couple of minutes should yank it back to finishing your list down.
Yeah, so let's see. At number 30, they put The Man in Black. Now, was the Woman in Black, are they the same?
I don't know.
Movie just shot from different angles?
I don't think so. I think it's completely separate. But I have to check, to be honest.
Yeah, because I was just like, you guys said The Woman in Black, and I didn't even see that on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So... Not yet, anyway. So 29 is The Evil of Frankenstein.
Okay.
The Gorgon.
Uh-huh. That's an old one.
That's really old. Hold on. Oh, it doesn't say how old it is.
One that keeps popping up on our list is Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter.
Yeah! That came up in a couple of your lists. Mm-hmm. And that's, I don't think, was even on here. On this one.
See, there's so many. I'm surprised at how many lists aren't the same, which is kind of cool because there's just so much to cover. I say you can either stick to just the horror films, or you can kind of expand out to the more gothic or the more kind of historic films. But it all still comes under Hammer banner.
Okay. And Malbrain says, and welcome, by the way.
Welcome.
Says the Gorgon is one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they list it so low. I'll see it. Sure. Let's see. The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll.
Yes, there's also Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, which occasionally appears on lists, which is pretty good as well.
Oh, Sister Hyde? Mm-hmm. Is that woke?
You'd think it would be for the time, but
I know.
It sounds like it should be. Like you can just use it to troll people.
Right? I figured, I got something I can start trolling people with now. Okay. Vampire Circus.
Mm-hmm. That one's pretty good.
Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, which is one that Keeley mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Twins of Evil, which I know Colin P. Smith was mentioning earlier in the chat.
Yes, I think that was on one of the lists that I had as well. It's not one of the ones that I've seen, but it's got two Playboy bunnies in the lead roles.
Unbelievable. But perfect for this kind of film.
Yes.
Yeah, the Twins of Evil. This is Mary Collinson, Madeline Collinson. So yeah, there's the twins. Okay. Let's see. Frankenstein Created Woman. There's Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde from 1971. God damn, that
Mhm.
movie's 50 years old. Fuck. Oh, sorry, Pudgy.
So close. So close.
So close. Damn. Well, I was born in 1971, so I'm going, oh, cheese and rice. That movie is as old as I am.
Oh my god.
The Plague of Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, on the thing, what is there? Boobs and zombies.
Of course.
Nightmare.
Don't know that one. Or if I do, it didn't leave an impression.
Yeah, that's not one I'd heard of either. Dracula, Prince of Darkness at 19. Curse of the Werewolf at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with the boobs and a werewolf. Brides of Dracula.
More boobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see a pattern forming here in the the top 20.
Even The Mummy at 16.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, boobs.
Kronos, we're gonna need a bigger jar.
Yeah, I'm thinking about stepping it up to a spaghetti sauce jar.
By the end of the year, by the time we get to the end of this charity run, it's going to be like a barrel, like a keg.
Yeah. Yeah. End up being a pitcher.
Keely says Twins of Evil is his favourite non-Dracula vampire movie. Nice.
Oh, cool. I will have to watch it then. Because Mark. Boobs.
And zombie boobs.
Zombie boobs. Number 15 is The Damned.
Okay.
Just The Damned. I'm like, okay. Number 14 is one called The Snorkel.
What?
That's what I said.
Chat, help me out, because I do not know that one. And for that to be that high up the list, that's a little bit weird.
Yeah, crime, horror, mystery they listed under.
Okay.
Let's see. Murder in an Italian villa by drugging her with milk and asphyxiating her by gas. Okay.
Right.
So it's a suspense. It's more of a suspense rather than horror. The Damned, good band from the 80s. Yeah, they were.
So, I mean, you disappeared again. There you go.
Weird. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed from 1969.
Mm-hmm. That one's a good film.
Excuse me, The Snorkel's from 58. So it's a real early... It was right the same as Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
And Paranoiac.
Paranoiac.
Yeah, from 1963. Not one I'm familiar with either. A man long believed dead returns to the family estate to claim his inheritance.
No. So Colin's familiar with it. He said he saw the snorkel the other day. It's a murder weapon. Okay. It just doesn't ring a bell at all for some reason.
Mm-mm.
It's like, okay.
The snorkel. Stepfather murders mom. Stepkid is angry about it. I get it. Okay. Snork this. Yeah, Kronos.
But have you got a kind of vested interest in watching them now? Is it something you're going to kind of delve into?
I do, because now I want to see the Frankenstein versions. I want to see the Mummy versions.
Mm-hmm.
I want to check out the twins.
Yes, all four of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Curse of the Werewolf is the only werewolf movie, though.
Yeah, like I said, they didn't do a lot of werewolf movies, at least not with Hammer Horror. Not that I remember, anyway. That's the one that kind of is the most popular and the one that pops up the most on lists.
Okay.
there was another one, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, because they don't list any of them, any more werewolf movies in the top 31. Yeah, Cabotinho Trooper Che. Yeah, Death by Snorkel. Battle Hymn 63. No, you have not missed the Snortpocalypse. It's just I've snorted once today, but been cursing at least 8 or 9 times. So
Yes.
I have to watch it with Pudgy in the room. And James Andrew Morrison says the makeup was too expensive.
Yeah, that I believe. A lot of the films were made on a very tight budget. Obviously, we were talking about the sets earlier being reused.
Right.
A lot of the costumes got reused a lot of the time. I mean, I think every time that Christopher Lee played Dracula, it was always the same costume he wore.
Yeah, well, and Van Helsing. He only wore like the same 3 suits. And of course the same riding coat, you know. I'm like, all he needs is a deerstalker and we've got Sherlock Holmes. Okay.
I think Basil Rathbone would have something to say about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might.
And Colin says Curse of the Werewolf is also, I think, the first film where Oliver Reed got a leading credit. I think you're right. I think that was one of his earlier ones. And Northruff. I always love checking out the twins. I think Twins of Evil is a kind of good one to end it on, because that seems to be the one that people have gravitated
Yeah, that seems
towards.
to be the one everybody's leaning
Can't
towards.
imagine
Twins
what.
of Evil. Oh my god, the geek inside. Oh god, Twins of Evil is a sexily eerie movie. Horror bubes.
You guys.
I said it before and I'll say it again. We have the best darn chat on YouTube, I swear.
Yeah, we do. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. It's been a heck of a morning. We really appreciate you guys joining us. So we will be back on Friday. And Friday. We've got something fabulous coming up for Sunday, but that's just a teaser. Just a teaser, little tease. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Little tease.
Spinny things.
Spinny things. Bye, Pudgy. All right, you guys, have an amazing Wednesday, and we will see you again on Friday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. Do not forget to smash the hell out of that like button, and make sure that your subscription bell is rung. YouTube is at it again. We're not getting notifications.
Yes, YouTube is being weird.
Yes. In fact,
even made another icon.
Did I get a notification for today? I did, but I just got it. So,
nailed it again, YouTube.
Nailed it.
Well done. Thank you.
So yeah, thanks everybody. Have a fantastic Wednesday. We will see you later.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for your super chats and thank you for joining us. I'll be back later tonight for the game stream.
Right, you have a game stream with Loki tonight. So
we do.
You guys are going to be playing something funny.
I hope so.
I can't wait.
See you later, guys. Thank you and have a great day.
Bye, y'all.